temperance will do you good. It's not a very sexy, fun thing to say, but that's what I heard, and this is the card that I saw when I split the deck, the temperance card. Now I'm also hearing social media break. Paying attention to where you are and what you've been through. Taking a dip in cool water, a shock to the system. Water could be very restorative for you right now. I just took a shower and did my hair and a little bit of makeup and dressed up, put on a necklace, and it really helped me. I'm sorry, I'm hearing like our ice maker go off and it's so aggressive sounding. I don't even know if you guys could hear that, but maybe you're feeling a little agitated, sensitive. Maybe you have a headache. You're trying to think too hard and force things to come through. I think this is very much to do with the temperance card coming out. I think it's temperance from working hard. I'm hearing hypervigilance on your work, your projects, your manifestations. So it feels more like a temperance from overproductivity, maybe perfectionism. Let's see. Second guessing. I'm trying not to say when I'm thinking because I believe it is a coping mechanism or a way to fill the silence as I'm thinking because I'm uncomfortable with just letting it be quiet. So that's why that thought came through about overthinking. So again, you might be overthinking what's next, job security, job challenges, currency. Your currency is your word. There's a gnat flying around me. Oh, I'm being tested. It's one of those things where I normally wouldn't be as irritated by a gnat flying around. Maybe I'd be able to tune it out a little bit more, but I'm hypersensitive right now, and I think you might be feeling that way too. When you're tired and drained, low on energy, physically, but mentally, like when you've put in so much work into something and you're just kind of done or you're pushed past your breaking point, there does often, I heard the word blow up, like you might melt down. I know like meltdown is a word used in the autistic community. I would always joke with my boyfriend when I would be done with work on a Friday evening, I would have a regularly scheduled breakdown where I would cry. And it was the one time during the week when I would let myself fall apart and express all the pent up stress and anxiety that I'd been holding. I don't know how I got to that. Meltdown. So I think I understand now that that was like me trying to control my meltdowns in some way. The funny thing is like being routined with my meltdowns. I think that's kind of autistic. But in this case, it's very much like you might blow up emotionally or have a moment where you just snap and you didn't plan for it, but it was your body, your mind, your heart and soul telling you, yo, enough. That's enough. Like I'm not doing that anymore. And you feel a little awkward, maybe because the people around you had to see something that they had never seen before. And ooh, I'm feeling a little embarrassed all of a sudden. So maybe if this happened to you, you could be feeling a little bit vulnerable about it, or it's like a vulnerability hangover, like, oh, I just showed that side of myself. I'm feeling naked. But luckily, it sounds like it was for your benefit. So taking a step back, processing everything, processing it, what just happened. And I'm looking again at the temperance card, the image of this angel, and they have one of their feet dipping into a little pool of water. And again, I heard a shock to the system. So it's almost like you need to do something that re-energizes your body, re-engages you with the present moment, with nature, I'm hearing, because you've been way too preoccupied with the mind, with overworking. I just wanted to hunch over. So this could be you, in front of your laptop, kind of squirrely. I definitely do this. This need to retrain your mind and body against the current. I don't know why that came out. So maybe it's the current, this feeling of the water just rushing faster and faster toward you, and you being unable to keep it at bay. And maybe this has to do with this overwhelming amount of work that you've been doing, whether it's with a job, a career, a lifestyle, mother, I just heard, parent, daycare, maybe you work in daycare. I also heard surgeon, and now I can see like someone in a hospital, a nurse writing something down on a clipboard. Definitely a feeling of being overworked. Painter even, I'm hearing, like, I see painting, like oil painting, but even also painting walls, like, construction, builder, whatever career job you've been in or are currently in, it's definitely been pushing you to your limit. So temperance is what's needed in this moment. A break, a mind break specifically, where you can just kind of sit and like zone out and just like stare at nothing. Sometimes you have to do that. It's a form of meditation, in my opinion, just being able to kind of stare at a blank spot on the wall. You can't even scroll on your phone anymore. It's just too overstimulating. Speaking of overstimulating, like the sound of that truck just passing through. No offense if you have a truck, but there are just certain sounds that are not pleasing to mine ears, okay? And perhaps to thine ears. So I'm feeling this energy of going on vacation, for sure. Taking a break, going in nature, sitting. I'm seeing someone sitting and staring out at a lake, listening to the cicadas. Just having a very quiet, peaceful time with yourself where you are not thinking, literally not thinking at all. Just looking, being in the present moment, perceiving. I just thought of the pelican. I made a video a while back, I don't know what about a pelican energy that came through, which sounds crazy, okay, I know. But in the same way that I get channeled messages when I'm doing these readings, I got channeled messages from what you could call a pelican energy or spirit. I want to be sensitive to like indigenous peoples, their beliefs about spirit animals and everything, but I don't really know how to describe this energy, but it belonged to the pelican, right? And It was very much a message about being able to be poised in the present moment amidst chaos, and to be your own inner peace, to be your own lighthouse in the chaos, your own, what's the word, stoic, I would say, to be very stoic with yourself. And in this sense, the temperance is coming through as a temperance from letting your thoughts spiral out of control. So maybe this time away is going to give you the space to really become disciplined with how you let your thoughts control you. OCD just popped in. And I think you might be learning how to choose what is real and what is just an intrusive thought or a negative thought pattern or a fear, a worry, versus a message about like an intuitive thought that's real and honest and authentic to you, rather than systems of thought that you've had. And I just had an image of someone putting a CD into like a CD player and closing the lid and letting the CD play. Are you a millennial? I believe this message has to do with playing the same old tune. So maybe it's the same old thought pattern of, why can't I do this? Why can't I be great? Why can't I be favored? Why can't I be better than I was yesterday? A lot of self-improvement thought patterns are coming through. Maybe you're manifesting change and transformation, but you're not really acknowledging the part of you that's driving this desire to change. This might get a little deep. I'm sensing a subconscious, let's say CD, right? Playing, or pattern that has been running this self-improvement behavior, and now I'm seeing someone running on a treadmill, sweating, like pushing, to go farther. And I think it feels like it's coming from somewhere deeper, maybe in childhood. Maybe there's a pattern of withholding compassion. And I also heard fatigued by self-improvement. Whew. Yeah, I think we've all been there. We have good intentions, right? We want to change ourselves, typically for positive reasons. Like we want to be healthier, stronger, more educated, smarter, wittier, braver, more courageous, better at certain skills, better at cooking, baking, drawing, sewing, mechanics. But I do think it's on a similar frequency to that energy of overworking in your job too, where it's coming from a place of deserving or needing to deserve change through intensity, discipline, and hard work. And not to say that there isn't a place for discipline and hard work, like we were talking about being disciplined with how we respond to our thoughts. But the overworking And addiction to self-improvement feels more like a punishment for not being good enough. Wow. Yeah, that makes me sad. Yeah. Punishment for not being worthy of goodness is what I'm hearing too. I just heard, "You are now free to move about the cabin." And I heard like click, click, someone unclicking their seatbelt and getting up to move around in the airplane. It feels very much like you have raised your frequency now. So with that airplane imagery, right? You reached your breaking point when it came, so the breaking point before you rose up in the airplane, right? I'm making some hand gestures if you can't see. You reached your breaking point that came from overworking, overproducing, over self-improving. And you were like, you know what? I don't need to do this anymore. I don't really even know why I'm doing this to myself. I don't have to do this. And you might have had or are having or will be having kind of a dark, stormy moment. I'm seeing just darkness, nighttime, cloud, kind of heaviness. Feels like storm clouds, but not in a chaotic way, just quite quiet and dark, where you're having this moment. Maybe this is grief as well, where you're having grief about these patterns, this way you've been living, and you have to process that, like we said earlier. But then once this has happened, if it hasn't already, I'm seeing then this vacation time, right? And maybe you were traveling by plane to go somewhere. And this is very much a physical separation from that past reality and flying, coasting, I would say, because that's what it feels like to be in an airplane. Like you feel like you're just sitting, coasting into this new reality. So you've done all the messy, hard work. You've understood that that pattern is no longer serving you and it can't anymore, that way of living. And you've chosen to live differently now. So you're going on a break. But yeah, you're now free to move about the cabin. And I think there's this feeling of, I'm aware that I am in an airplane, very much going in between, moving from one place to the next. And there's this acknowledgement that there is perhaps like your house you're leaving behind, and it's still technically part of your past, but it's not going to be the same when you return from this trip, this vacation. You're going to carry this coasting higher frequency with you when you come back. So you don't have to worry that once the vacation's over, everything's going to go back to normal and I have to keep living the way I was living. No, it's not going to be like that. And maybe that's something you can meditate on while you're there. Like we said, that person sitting in front of a lake. Golden hour, I'm hearing. It's your golden hour. Ooh, that would be such a good song to listen to while you're taking flight. Like, I don't know if you guys know that song. It started on TikTok, became TikTok famous, and then it became like mainstream famous, I guess you could say, that song Golden Hour. But it has a beautiful piano intro. And I mean, throughout, the piano is beautifully played. I wish I could remember who wrote that song, but that would be an incredibly cinematic moment for you if you're like me and you like pretending like you're living in a movie, because you are, playing that song as you're lifting up. Wow. Chills. And also, funnily enough, on the temperance card, there is a beautiful golden sun, golden, kind of almost looks like a stethoscope, again with the doctor imagery. Maybe you're a nurse, doctor, RN, practical nurse, living nurse, travel nurse. I don't know, I'm feeling a lot of nurse energy. Healthcare in general. Patient service. And the angel is serving, water, pouring water into 2 golden cups. So it feels also like a balance of your, your emotional energy, your emotional reserves, your emotional burnout is what I just heard. So recovering from emotional burnout, compassion fatigue I just heard. Yeah, definitely. If you're a nurse, I am sure that you experience these things: emotional burnout, compassion fatigue. But again, it's this resignation, this resigned decision, I would say, this decision that you can't go backwards even if you really wanted to. And so this trip is this lovely transitional period. But I made a video about liminal space that's coming out on Sunday, on the August 9th. But it's interesting because this is coming up for me too. The experience of being in between. So liminality is this idea that when you're in like a transitional period, you're not really in the past, you're not really in the present. Let's say like you're a high school graduate and it's the summertime. You just graduated high school, but you haven't quite started your next step. So let's say like you're going to college in the fall. This summertime is sort of like this liminal period where you're in between moments, in between thresholds, like one door closes, one door opens, but you're in the hallway, kind of just waiting in between for the moment for you to go into the next door, right? But it's interesting because I might just complicate things by adding this to the reading. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that behind, what I was gonna say, but there's this need to kind of just be relaxed in this space, even though it feels very scary, very unknown, and kind of weird and otherworldly. It's a good idea to embrace it. Excuse me. Embrace this unknown. And I think liminal spaces and liminal times are wonderful for helping you really look around and engage with the present moment, and to just be able to look where you are and go, wow, like this is beautiful. My house is beautiful. The trees are beautiful. My cat up in their hammock is beautiful. The sticker on my staircase that's of a little mouse hiding in a cave with a book that you can't see, but you can kind of see. I pointed at the staircase. That's cute. I like my blue stone necklace and my red dress and the sticker on my microphone and the braids in my hair. And you're just able to notice things a lot more because there isn't something that you're currently like hyper focused on, aware of, working towards, because you kind of can't really move forward yet, but you can't go behind because that's done. So you're just kind of, it's very much like vacation mode, I would say, just enjoying the moment. And maybe that's a lesson too, where we're, I said, let me just trying to rush myself. I think that could be another lesson too, is trying to rush because we're letting other people rush us because it's their speed and their agenda. But now we don't need to rush anymore. That's not my speed. It's not my agenda. I'm going to take my time. Check your speed. Oh, this is my speed limit. That's yours. Drive according to the speed limit. Don't break the law, okay? Just... But there's very much this feeling of being at peace with where you belong, and you belong to this moment. I've been hearing this song. What is that song they used to use for those Sandals Resort commercials? Does anyone remember? Lifetime for a moment like this. Some people wait a lifetime. Just imagining someone at karaoke, me. Is it a moment like this? Is it Sarah McLachlan, or is it... Who's that? Shania Twain? I feel like it's either one of those ladies. Like, some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. Some people search forever for that one special kiss. Oh, I can't believe this is happening to me. It feels very much like an epiphany, a culmination of, I've been driving and driving for so long, and what for? And now I finally feel like I understand what everything is for and what I want to live for now. And it's very much this feeling of, for me, I want to listen to me and my calling and my intuition. And I'm seeing someone read a book, like open a book. They're sitting on the airplane seat, opening a book, getting ready to read about manifestation. Maybe it's like a journal where you're gonna write a dream journal, like plan out your dreams, your desires, and take this time to really reconnect to what you want from life instead of what other people told you you should want or needed to survive, is what I'm hearing. I think like purple and blue and sparkles, magic. I think that you're also, I'm seeing someone like sparkles around them, like remembering your magic too. Who you were before the world got its hands on you or hold on you, right? I feel like that's the end of this reading. I could keep yapping forever, guys. But it feels very much like you're on the plane and you're engaging with the magic of life again. And this vacation is your first step into that timeline, is what came through. Reality, manifestation. I'm just hearing you with, and I saw just massive capital letters, YOUU. Like, you're with you now. You are the magic. So what comes through you is magic too, or you get to decide what happens next. It's up to you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is really like, I always think of champagne fizzes in my chest when I get this kind of giddy, exciting manifestation magic, new kind of life energy.